We're turning now to the University of Florida, where a major scandal is plaguing the football team. Former Miami booster and convicted Ponzi schemer Nevin Shapiro says he gave at least 72 players trips, cash, and other lavish gifts from 2002 to 2010. At least a dozen current NFL players are said to have received these benefits, and the future of the program could be in jeopardy as the NCAA decides how to handle this. So, Bob, we're talking about cash payouts, trips to strip clubs, prostitutes, little bling going on here and there. You were telling me during the break that when you were in college,
wish you were a player.
These days.
I was.
You
That was
were
the problem.
recruited actually by Ohio State and Penn State, and you actually played 4 games as a Philadelphia Eagle, which is awesome.
because I was that bad.
So
I was the first guy cut.
Did you get any large gifts?
I will not say the school, but one school I went to visit, a booster did hand me an envelope with $1,000 cash. Now, I would like to say that I turned it back. I did not. But I can tell you, University of Miami is notorious for this. They recruit their people out of, it seems to me, the prison population. Most of their boosters are in prison. I mean, they have had a terrible, terrible history of this, and this is really going over the line. I mean, I've been through a lot of things. I never got offered a prostitute.
Eric, you played professional
pay.
baseball. You played professional baseball. Did you experience this at all?
Remember,
and how widespread do you think
this is? College, and they're not, players aren't paid. And that really is the big discussion here, whether players should be paid on the collegiate level. And if they were able to be paid, this stuff would stop. I'm not condoning that. I'm saying this is one of the biggest scandals that hit college football probably ever, because not only the 72 players who got abortions. Some of them were even abortions were paid for. But there were 7 coaches. Some of the biggest coaches in college football were coaching at the time these players were getting stuff. The scandal is going to grow and grow. And one last thing, I'm sorry, guys. This is a very profitable football program for the University of Miami. They may actually get at least a year or more pulled completely.
I don't want to jump in because we played this sport, but I'll tell you, major football schools, the football team plays for all the other sports in the
Right, exactly.
Right.
If you don't have college football, you don't have the volleyball, the rugby, and whatever other those silly sports are that they have. But I want to make a point. I think there's an illusion here that this is actually college football. This is a professional team. So why not just turn the Miami Hurricanes into a professional team and pay them? They're already acting like pro athletes. Why pretend they're students? These are not students.
Good point.
I got to say, as somebody who was on the speech team in college and didn't have any football team that was paying,
did they have any boosters for you?
Yeah, no, I did get a college scholarship, and I would tell you, moms and dads, put your daughters on the speech team. It pays off. But we didn't have a football team. This kind of thing is so beyond anything I'd ever seen. But I also want to know one thing. Why are we blurring out the faces of the people that are in the photographs?
I think because they were under 18 at that time.
Well, I think they're not convicted yet.
Or maybe they just were
saying this is
they were born with blurry faces.
Greg, you didn't get a scholarship for coordinated dance and swim?
You know, I tried. I was actually a rhythmic gymnast, a nude rhythmic gymnast. And at that time, people didn't care, Bob. And I'm glad you brought it up.
So, Eric, let me ask you this, because Greg points out that the University of Miami is a huge feeder team for the NFL, right? And they are at the professional level, even though they're playing at the college level, and so they've got to subscribe to all of the NCAA rules. But how widespread do you think this is?
It's very widespread. I think it's extremely widespread. Remember, this is some guy who just really liked the University of Miami football, spreading some money around. I mean, it's very tempting for these athletes to say no, Bob.
I played before you did, but I'll tell you this. Not only the NCAA is terrible about enforcing their rules, we use steroids. We had coaches who shot us with steroids when I played, and that's against the rules. They're still using steroids today, but they mimic them now they get through the steroid test.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
The amount of stuff that goes on in big-time college football is outrageous, and the NCAA is just wusses when it comes to
So, Dana, do you think we're going to hear more stories like this?
Yeah, we are, because this guy gave him 100 hours of interviews to the reporter. 100 hours. He has nothing more to do.
Wait, Dana, because this guy has a lot of time on his hands. He's a convicted Ponzi schemer, nearly $1 billion in fraud. Well, so can we really believe
What did you play in college, by the way?
Football.
I thought,
linebacker.
You know, you were the one that hit me so hard in the knees. That's what I thought.
One thing I think that's kind of unfortunate, because I really like her, is former Secretary of Health and Human Services Donna Shalala from the Clinton administration has been in charge of the university. She's done, I think, a great job on a lot of different things. It's a very multicultural university. They do some great work. And this is something that she is going to have to be dealing with.
But presidents can't touch football coaches. That's the thing, is that people forget this. If the choice between the president of college and the head football coach, if the head coach is winning, forget the president.
Right. Well, they should change their name to Miami Vice.
I feel bad for the speech team.
And
Miami Vice,
that now should be the name of the team now. Miami Vice Squad.
Yeah, they are the worst.
Okay, guys, coming up, Greg has the Bloomberg Blues. He's going to tell us why. He's got a bone to pick with the New York City Mayor, Michael Bloomberg, next on The Five.